I have people in my life that I call friends who, when they send me messages, I'm always wondering, what now? I mean, these are the kind of people, when they send you messages, sometimes they'll be super nice, but most of the time they'll be super offensive, super discouraging, and super dismissive, right? So I've had to learn in this journey to be able to stand for what I believe in, because I found that not taking people's opinions too much into heart has allowed me to enjoy peace, has allowed me to even continue with the work that I'm doing, right? Had it not been for me learning to stand on my own, to stand for what I believe in, I would have probably quit this work that I'm doing every day, because I've had people, and I still have people in my life that I call friends, who will just say things that are so offensive, things that shouldn't be said by people that you call your friends. I mean, very early in the morning, when I send out these videos or messages, you'll get a reply, right? From a person, and you wonder, but was it really necessary for you to respond? Couldn't you have just kept quiet and kept it to yourself? I mean, it is 4 o'clock, it is 4:30 in the morning, and a friend would send a reply that you wonder, are you really my friend? Are you really somebody who wants to support me? Or are you in my life to try and discourage me from doing what God has called me to do? So today I want to talk to you about: take charge of your life. You are not a victim. I am Pulaa Montz, your inner voice magnified. That is the sad thing that I needed to quickly deal with. That was being able to deal with comments from people. The work that I do right now is work that exposes me to a lot of people, that exposes me to social media, right? And I thought at some point that, my defenses were up for people, strangers, right, who would firstly see me on Facebook. I expected a whole lot of bullets coming from such people, only to find that I started experiencing that people that I call my friends, the people who are very close to me, being the ones who, instead of, giving a positive, constructive feedback, they would really bash me in a way where I would feel so insecure, where I would even start questioning whether I should be doing what I'm doing. I mean, that is how things work. That is how life is when you do something positive. I tell you, don't ever expect to get discouraged by people who are far from you. In fact, strangers will appreciate you more than your own inner circle, right? You will find that the most discouraging, the most criticisms or discouraging feedback, or the most criticism you'll find from the people that you least expected such criticism from. So I've learned that, in order for me to do what I'm called to do, in order for me to do what I believe is right for me, I need to learn to take charge of my own life. I needed to learn that I'm not a victim to anybody's comments. I'm not a victim to anybody's opinion. I've got a right and a responsibility to pump myself up, to motivate myself, and to believe what I want to believe with my life, right? What I want to believe in terms of the work that I'm doing. Otherwise, I tell you, I would have given up a long time ago. Till today, I'm still getting comments from people that I call my friends that are not, constructive criticism, constructive feedback, but actually where I ask myself, but does this person really think before they write a message and send it through to a person they call a friend, right? So today I wanted to just encourage you. Life is not here to nurse your emotions, right? Life is not here to nurse your insecurities. Life is here to deal with those who are weak, right? Life is here to deal with those who are called, so that they do not follow their calling. Because I've always said, if all of us were to do the things that we know we are called to do, there would never be a need for so much war. We would all understand that there is plenty in this world for all of us to enjoy, for all of us to live a wealthy, abundant life. But the fact that we all want to step on each other's toes, we all want to do the things because we believe, oh my gosh, there's money in this industry, and we all flock into that industry. The next thing, the industry is so oversaturated, and we start fighting each other for minimum resources that are in that industry, instead of each person tapping into their own calling where there is abundance. I've had to learn that when you are in your calling, you will have people who will want to destroy you. You will have people who want to pull you down so that you crawl back into the hole that you came out of, right? So today I wanted to say to you, you know what? Nobody owes you anything. This world especially doesn't owe you anything. You are not a victim. I know we are so tempted to meditate on what people say to us. I mean, I still struggle even today. I know to block things out, but if I get 5 compliments about a message maybe that I sent out, and there's one negative comment, although I'll try to block it out, throughout the day, I'll have to make a conscious decision to block it out, because it will keep coming back. That negative comment, especially because these are comments that are coming from people that I really trust the most. So it will keep coming back, and constantly throughout the day, I need to remind myself that I'm not letting this in. So that is how we enjoy peace. It doesn't mean that you won't have attacks. It doesn't mean that the people that you trust the most won't disappoint you. It doesn't mean that your plans always go as scheduled, right? Things go wrong, life happens, but the reality is we are not victims of our own situations. We are not victims of other people's comments or perspectives. We are not victims of people's beliefs about who we are. We've got a responsibility. Each of us has a responsibility towards themselves, towards their own goals. I mean, just because somebody told you that you're useless, or just because somebody is still telling you today that you'll never amount to anything, doesn't mean that's the gospel truth. It only becomes the truth when you start accepting it as your truth, when you start accepting it into your system, and it starts becoming your constant thoughts. And we know that whatever you think about, you eventually speak, and whatever you speak, you eventually see as your own reality. So people's thoughts about you, people's comments about you, people's words about who you are can never matter unless you take them in, unless you accept them in. Yes, they are hurtful. Yes, we feel the pain, but the issue is we need not meditate on negativity. We need not meditate on on these this negative feedback that we get, especially from the people that we trust the most. So you are not a victim. I tell you, you are not a victim. You are able to take charge of your life and decide what you want to see as your reality. And once you've decided what you want to see as your reality, you start working towards it, because the most important conversation, the most important dialogue is the inner dialogue that you have with yourself. What do you believe about yourself? If you have spent years believing what people have told you you are, then it is about time you start getting the new truth about who you are. Start meditating, start getting into God's word, start accepting what people tell you that is positive about yourself, and meditate on such information. You know what you know best. You know what you do, what you're good at. Start reminding yourself of these things that you are. Stop allowing people to tell you the kind of person that you are, because people are not here to nurse your emotions. People are here at times to destroy you, but they can only get to you. They can only take away your peace when you allow them, when you start meditating on who they say you are. But I tell you, once you've decided to take responsibility for your own life, once you've decided that you are not where you are today because of the choices that you've made, once you start taking charge of your own life, then you'll start enjoying peace, because there is nothing as as motivating as knowing that you are to blame for where you are. Because at least when you know you are to blame for where you are right now in life, then you can easily go back and see what have been your habits that have led you to this point that you are. Then you are able to change those habits. But when you constantly want to blame other people for where you are or what you're doing, or you gave up because people didn't believe in you, you gave up because people had a lot of opinions about what you were doing, then you are really taking away the power that you have. You are giving it to other people, and you can't expect people to start treating you good so that you are able to do what you're called to do. It is your responsibility to believe it for yourself, to motivate to motivate yourself, and to discipline yourself to not listen, first of all, to negative comments, not meditate on them, and actually continue to work on what you believe is right for you. I am Pulaa Montz, your inner peace and purpose coach.